Hello, folks. Welcome to another review of Thoughts on. I've been meaning to get to this film for a long time. It stars Elizabeth Olsen in Silent House. It's a remake off a movie called The Silent House. But this one, directed by two people. I think it's a French duo. Um, but yeah, pretty much it's about this girl named Sarah and her dad and her uncle. They go to their lakeside house, or pretty much the because pretty much they're selling it and packing up stuff, and pretty much the gist is she hears noises, which she believes is an intruder in the house. So the uncle leaves at one point, and it's just her and her dad, and then stuff goes crazy when the dad he disappears, and then it's just her going throughout the house, hearing noises and seeing an entity, a burglar as she sees it in her head, maybe. We're led to believe either it's a supernatural happenings or something more sinister going on. um, but yeah, overall the movie, I know it was hyped up back in what 2011. So yeah, it's a pretty old movie. Um, it was hyped up as um, uninterrupted shot, like it was shot one take or whatever through the whole or most of the movie, I guess. Um, when I first saw it, I didn't mind it. Um, I wasn't really a big fan of it. Even now, well, I'm not going to say it's a bad movie, but I don't think the way the trailer marketed it, like it was a supernatural, action-packed movie, it's really not. It's more of a psychological drama because it's sort of based off real events, apparently, in the 40s, but this one takes place like pretty much present day, um, or whatever year it's supposed to be back in, I guess, 2011. Um, but yeah, like we don't really know much about the uncle or the dad, except that the dad's kind of a douche at points, and even stuff that happens towards the end when we find out that he is more than just a douchebag. Um, even the uncle, like he seems somewhat. I don't want to say, you know, better than the dad, because even he was part of what happened to her. So, and even at the end, she spares his. Well, I guess I'm spoiling it anyway. You find out pretty much throughout the movie, it's everything that's happening is all in her head. So, because she sees, we as the audience don't really see like this intruder pretty much is. It's every time the entity person or whatever, every time they're on screen, they're blurred out, but you can see them sort of. It's it's her running up and down the stairs and hiding in places and trying to get out the house. At one point she does finally, and then she runs to the uncle, and then he wants to go in the house even though could just call the police. But he grabs a gun to go in the house. There's some decent shots with uh, the burglar or whatever. Um, there's some creepy scenes. Like there's one. Um, there's this. Oh, we meet this other girl at the beginning, and Sarah doesn't remember her, and we as the audience kind of are with Sarah. We don't this the way this girl acts, like really extra friendly, and like maybe there's something up with her. And but yeah, it's like she doesn't want anything to do with her really, so she's trying to be nice, but also passive aggressive, not really aggressive, but I don't know. She, that character, she comes back at the end, and then you find out, oh, that's really her imaginary friend. Either imaginary friend or like her made up. I guess it would be because what happened? Because pretty much she at one point cuts the the lady's hand, and then you find out it's actually Sarah that cut her own hand. And by this point, it's her that's been doing everything. She knocked the uncle out, knocked the dad out, and then towards the end, the dad's tied up, so then she unties him because she's, again, mentally kind of fighting herself and crying. And the way she, I love Elizabeth Olsen, but the way she was crying in this movie sounded like she was a bit almost laughing. It's at spots it sounded like she was laughing or uh, giggling a little bit. I know she's supposed to be crying and in pain or whatever, scared, but I'm not knocking her acting because I think she's phenomenal in this. Um, but yeah, that the whole her at times crying, but it sounds like she's giggling or laughing. I know she's not. And then she kills the dad at the end because he tries to manipulate her, and the uncle tries to help her, but he's been I guess she stabbed him at one point. Because the way the camera always focuses on Sarah when stuff happens, so if the dad was knocked out, we won't see it really because the camera's mainly on her. But it's sort of like that. Well, I would say this movie's way better than High Tension or Tensions, whatever. Um, because that movie, while this one makes more sense, and the way the twist is in that one versus this one, I would say the twist in this one handled better than the other one. Because the High Tensions, then there's scenes where it doesn't make sense, where there's no way that can't be her when um anyway, this movie I didn't mind it. I thought the camera work was, cinematography was decent. um the acting was excellent by Elizabeth Olsen. She doesn't get enough credit for her acting. um so yeah, I am a bit sort of excited for her role in WandaVision. Still not interested really in that show, but I'm down to see her. um But yeah, overall, I would say don't go into this if you want to watch it. Don't go into this thinking it's a pure horror and scary, because it's more psychological. It's more drama than anything. I wouldn't really say mystery. I mean, I guess you can, the way it's not really, again, it's not horror, but what happens, because technically what happens there is kind of, not even kind of, is horrific and does happen to people. But so I guess it teeters sort of on horror, but not really. Um, but yeah, overall, those are my thoughts on Silent House. It's a decent flick, not really bad. Good acting, or great, excellent acting. Cinematography's fine. There's really no music in this movie. Um, I can't really say anything bad about it. I can't think of anything annoying or negative or cons. But if anybody would like to request any videos such as reactions or movie reviews, commentaries, PayPal, you can either request it through my PayPal or join my Patreon for certain tiers or whatever. And yeah.